Thank you, Di.
Yeah, Sharada ji. How's your health?
Mahodaya, what is the Pada Vicheda for Savyasachin?
Savyasachin. Savyena saha anchati iti savyasachin. Means what? Anchati. The verb is anchida. Anch. Anch becomes ach. And so anchati means what? To draw, to pull, to act, to do separate. Here the idea is separating extending the bow. That's the idea here. Pulling the strings, drawing the string of the bow. Okay. So how does that person draw the string? Savyena saha. Savyena saha. Vamena saha. Vama hastena saha. Savya hastena saha. That hasta has to be introduced. The word hasta is implied there. And so, Savyena hastena saha. Jati, one who is able to draw the bow, use the bow with the left hand. Operate the bow with the left hand itself is called. I think bow, what they do is they're supposed to hold the bow with the right hand. It's heavy, right hand. And then with the left hand, you cannot draw the string. I think so. I don't know. Maybe I'm a bit left-handed. I also do things with left. It means I'm not
other way around. Check Marty.
Other way. Okay, they do hold it like this with the left hand and then pull with this one.
No. Hold the bow with the right hand.
Hold the bow with the right.
Hold the bow with the left,
left
hand and draw with the right.
Yeah, left. This is my left hand, and so left hand hold the bow and do it like this. I do it like this. It's very odd. Don't ask me why I do like this. I do it like this. As kids, I used to do that. With the left hand, I'll pull and hold with the right hand. Opening the lock on the door. Opening the lock, I can't do properly with the right hand. I'll do it with the left hand. The key, I hold the key in the left hand. Very odd it is. So this guy is the Savyasaj. So which is amazing. We hear all these stories about Arjuna. The fish was there on top and then you had to look down or something, and how he used to do that. So it's definitely a skill and an art and whatnot.
I have heard somewhere that every child is born left-handed and by conditioning it becomes right-handed. So that is why it goes through a lot of mental conflict in that age of 3 to 5.
Oh, every child is born left-handed. Is that correct?
And by conditioning it becomes right-handed. I mean, that is what I have heard somewhere.
Oh.
Natural ability is left-hand.
Yeah. I don't know about that. Yeah, that's a new one. Because it's a problem. If everybody went through this, it creates emotional problems. When you force a child to use another hand instead of this hand, constantly the child will go back with left hand. And the parents have a problem. They think that writing with left hand is somehow wrong. I don't know how it can be somehow wrong. But no, do it like this. And then after a while, the child will do like this. No, do it like this. And then keep on. How long can this child be doing this?
So you look at the child when it starts eating, it always eats with the left hand first.
I think that's because they look at us and they try to imitate. I think that's why
mirror image maybe.
Mirror image, yeah.
So left is a natural tendency is what I have read.
Oh, mirror image. Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's how I understand it.
Because
they look at you and they try to.
Oh, that's what
so that's why always it starts eating with the left hand. The child, a baby in fact, maybe a few month old baby, when it starts eating, it takes it to the left hand.
I see. Very interesting. Very interesting. So I think it is free enough to use either hand, hopefully at that time, that it can just switch if it needs to, something like that, I hope.
And then conditioning sets in.
I don't think they're born left-handed. I think they're just imitating us and they...
I think maybe born in the sense that is naturally how they start using.
Yeah, but that also is conditioning. What Bhagya is
Yeah,
saying,
that is
mirror image
conditioning.
is there. So that is also conditioning only. Conditioned to use the left hand, and it has to somehow figure out that it's all right to use the hand that is different than the hand that the parents are using. Okay, because as far as it's concerned, different. Because they are using that side. It doesn't know any mirror image or not. So, but somehow they're asking me to use this hand. Why? I'm doing exactly what you're doing.
Yeah, what you're doing. Yeah.
And now you're complaining. And so they can have that conflict. Anyway, that's a different topic. So here Vaidya is saying 70 to 90% are right-handed. Minority are left-handed. Best described as I mean, best described as I mean. Okay. All right, Venkatraman.
Yeah, in my opinion, nimitta, I feel it is ordered. Somebody gives the order and the person executes. The person himself doesn't decide. So in an army, the soldier is there. Somebody gives the order, you shoot, and he goes ahead. But he can't take the gun and shoot somebody else without the order. But so nimitta means it is somebody is giving the order to go ahead. So even in a knife, you get vegetables. That is the nimitta is that vegetables have to be cut. But you can't go and cut the neck of somebody that because knife is there. So in my opinion, nimitta is somebody is giving the order to do something and you execute it for it. For instance, Jan in Walabad, that the British fellow gives the commander gives the order, shoot. The shooting was done by the Indian soldier. That so he simply shot. That's all. The order given, he shot. Over. He didn't even use his head to shoot that commander. Instead of the people, he could have shot the commander and finished it off. But he chose to shoot. That is somebody giving the order and you execute. So nimitta means it's somebody giving the order, you execute. And you don't decide yourself. That is what I thought.
Yeah. So we have to be careful interpreting. And what one is saying is we'll continue the discussion next class. Nitta matram bhava means surrender to.
Yeah.
Surrender to what?
Surrender to the whoever is controlling you.
Surrender to dharma. Surrender to dharma.
Dharma.
Dharma. Surrender to dharma. That is okay. Surrender to dharma requires a lot of freedom.
Yeah.
As we said, surrender to dharma requires a lot of freedom. Initially, at least, until we are crystal clear about our values, and until I'm clear that I will not dilute these certain values, until I'm clear about it, I have to use my free will constantly. Once the value is clear, then free will is not needed. Correct? Not needed.
Yes.
See, when driving a car also, initially learner has to use a lot of free will. Turning everything and then when to press accelerator, when to press the brake, all these are issues initially. And constantly free will is at work. But when the person is driving for 10 years, then the free will is there, but to some extent only it is there. It will just get activated as needed. Otherwise, just coasting, just everything is happening smoothly. So therefore, we have to just be careful interpreting Mittama.
And speaking about left hand, I had one incident. One boy started writing with left hand, and parents got upset. They forced him to write with the right hand, which he couldn't do. But they forced him to such an extent, he actually became mental, and he was the very outstanding student. He became mentally sick, and he stopped studying. So they said, don't force a person to do something opposite. If he is left hand, you leave him free to do his left hand. And if you force him to do right hand, it will land in opposite result.
Correct, correct. I think this is something that all of us should learn, especially parents should quickly become aware of. Children should know that nothing wrong with right
For
thing.
instance,
Nothing wrong at being
my,
left.
my son, my son's son, that is my grandson, he is a left hand. He writes beautiful with the left hand, and he does everything with left hand. Even sometimes he will start eating with left hand also. But but he's so good at it. President Obama was a left hand writer. He used to write with left hand only. So there is nothing to do with that. Somebody's habit of left hand. We should leave him like that and force him to write with right hand, do with right hand. It makes a person mentally sick.
Correct, correct. Now we are aware of these problems, neurological problems that can happen.
That's the conflict he'll have afterwards.
Yeah, yeah. Good. Anything else?
Yes.
Thank you, Venkataramanji. How's life in America?
Uh, it's quite cold here still.
Oh,
Quite cold.
okay. California also gets quite cold, is it?
Yes, yes. But it is now about 6 degrees, sometime night 3 degrees, daytime 14, 15 degrees.
Yeah. I see.
Guruji, regarding that left and right, they say that left part of the brain and right part of the brain. So the left part controls the right part of the body, and the right brain controls the left part of the body. So if you are naturally, say, right-handed, and we that means like left part of the brain is more used actually, and in order to make the right part also to be more active, it's better to start using the other hand for some work, maybe like taking a book or whatever we do some work, right? We can try to use the other hand. So it will help to increase the activity of the other part of the brain. So overall, it will be more, the person will be more, because like one part has the creative function, the other part is like more arithmetic calculation related. So if we try to use both hands wherever possible, it will help in the overall brain development, like more effective usage of brain, like more utilization can be achieved. Normally, like I try like because I'm right-handed, if I'm like putting the clip on the clothes, right, I use try to use left hand consciously, so that I will help, maybe the left hand will help me in the right hand development. So consciously I try to use the other hand.
That's one of
That's
the
interesting. They talk about left-handed and left brain. What do they say? They say left brain. That person is left brain. This person is right brain. So intellectual, highly intellectual versus creative, artistic. Now there's a two kind of contrasting attributes that are there in people, and so I think left brain, right brain. Right is what is. I think right is intellectual.
emotional,
Creativity. Right is
emotional.
creativity, left is logical.
Left
Or
is
left is
logical, right is
logical, right
emotional.
is creativity. Correct. Left is logical, right is creativity. Okay.
So in fact, what Raghavanji said is also used as a technique to prevent onset of dementia. Use the other hand.
Oh, very good, very good.
So that's also a technique that is recommended to prevent onset of dementia, Parkinson's, and all that.
Very good, very good. Yeah. So left hand. Okay, very interesting.
Use the other hand basically. Like brushing your teeth once in a while, use the other hand.
Brings about more awareness also.
Correct. Awareness. Oh, I'm thankful to what I have. Fortunately, I'm only using the other hand as a test, not as on a daily basis. Good. Very nice. Anything else? So our Narayanan and Meera have started a class for children. I think you all saw that thing. So how was it, Narayanan, Meera? Tell us how it was.
So we had the first session on Monday, and we had the inauguration, and it's a 2.5 hour program, and it is planned to run from April 3rd going up to May 20th, so roughly about 21 days. And each day session is broken up into 5 half-an-hour sessions, and we have a lot of volunteers who are volunteering for that. So what we plan to cover in each of those sessions is one session on our Vedic heritage in terms of trying to build children awareness about our history, Sanatana Dharma and Samskriti. One session on learning classical dance. So we have a dance teacher who has volunteered. One session on learning bhajans and shlokas. So we have a lot of volunteers who come from that. We have one game session and one session to do with art and craft, where we start using your fingers. So there are volunteers who come up and going to help the children to learn how to sew, how to stitch a button, how to do kundan artwork and all that. So that's the way it's going to go. We had a good inauguration. So we are doing it on our temple premises, and the temple trustees are extremely happy with us, saying that they are not able to get people to do this kind of activities. It's good that we have stepped forward to do that. So they are pretty encouraging, and it's a pretty spacious hall we have in terms of doing that. The only lack of infrastructure what we have there is it doesn't have a wall. What you see as a wall is actually a sheet of glass with that logo of the temple, Samskriti, Sri Varasiddhi Vinayaka Samskriti. That is actually a sheet of glass. So we can't hang anything there. That's the only challenge what we have. So today I'm organizing a board and stand so that people can use the board, people can write on that. Today is our second session. So there are volunteers who are coming and demanding, saying that when should I do my session? So there's a lot of motivation there. So we have a lot of things to do. The good news is Guruji Jaykumarji has agreed to come to Bangalore somewhere around the 20th of May. So we'll plan for a session along with you.
20th May is going to be the last year conclusion.
Conclusion session. It will be a Saturday.
We should invite others also, and whoever can come.
Right, yeah. I think we have a fairly decent Arsha Seva crowd in Bangalore. A lot of people will be interested in meeting you.
We can do that.
Vijayji, you had something to say.
And we have, you know what, we've been thinking of this, our children in Mysore wanting to make a presentation. You know, it's been a year or more than a year since we had that Kritagnyata program. So maybe I'm thinking whether we should make that also happen around the same time. Like 21st or 20th is what day of the week, Narayana?
Saturday.
Saturday, okay. In that case, Sunday could be that Kritagnyata program in Mysore. If we do something like that, that way we can all, you know, Coimbatore, some of our friends may be interested to come. We can all come there together. It's a possibility. Well, yeah. I'll talk to Sunita and see what she says.
So Sunita had called a couple of days back. She wanted us to document everything so that we can use this as a model for other programs.
Okay. Okay.
That's the reason I'm circulating that journal, what we did every day basis. I shared it yesterday.
Okay. Yeah. Very good. Yeah. So we should do this in other cities also. And if we can have Chennai, for example, there's a good group of friends in Chennai. So Raghavan is there, and who else? We got Madhumati Narayanan is there, and others are there in Chennai. So something like that can be done in Chennai also. Don't you think, Raghavan?
Yes, Guruji.
So one thing we've started that we didn't say so far is I'm going to start a training course, a course for training teachers, a course for building teachers of Vedic heritage for children. Suppose somebody says, yeah, I want to teach children. Because now I'm studying Shastram and all, and I have some idea, but I don't know how to teach children. If you say, then we've started discussing that, and it will be a 4-week, 5-week, 6-week course, something. I haven't decided how long it's going to be, but it's meant to produce teachers of Vedic heritage for children. And so maybe it's all coming together. I don't know. Maybe that's much needed. After the Kathopanishad class, remember we were having that satsang, and these young parents were saying, we don't know. We need some help to educate our children. Then our children became children, and so then we came up with this idea. And so that's coming up. I'll announce it. And if you know friends in your community, it will be an online course. So if you have friends in your area who might be interested in something like this, it'll be a short course. It won't be a prolonged thing. It'll be just, this is a course which should cover all the way from the age of 6 to the age of 16 through high school, right? So from the young age, 4 years old or whatever, what will you teach for 4 or 5 years? And what will you teach for high school students? So that entire curriculum I cover. And it will take, it can be covered quickly also, but I want to do it in a way that everybody understands, has a good grasp of it. So we might say something like 6 weeks. 6 weeks should be sufficient. Cover the whole thing. And that'll be the range. So something like 6 to 8 weeks and sessions. So we'll announce that. And those who are interested in being part of designing the course, you let me know. You can join right away in the discussions and part of the discussions and so forth. It'll be nice to have you. But we'll announce the course one of these days. It'll probably take a couple of months before we actually start the course. So that is just by the way, it's coming up. So Meera,
will the course, will they train the teacher, right? Like you were saying, train the teacher. Like normally, it's only covers the study material, or like will it cover some unique? We need some unique strengths, right, to convey, and because the audience will be different mindset, and we need, though we know the subject, sometimes we may not be able to express it.
Right.
So
it'll
there is a challenge.
It'll cover all aspects. It'll cover the content. It'll cover the subject matter that needs to be covered, that needs to be taught. That is one aspect. The second aspect is psychology of understanding children, child psychology. How do you understand? How does a child grow? And how do you understand that growth pattern, and what are effective ways of communicating to children of different ages? And then also techniques, teaching techniques. How do you communicate a particular thing, etc. For example, Meera and Narayanan, they have to use all those techniques in this camp. And so they have a variety of things planned and engaging with children, to young children. Older children can sit through little. They can sit and listen. Life, dharma and all you talk, they listen. But younger children can't handle all that. You have to constantly be at them.
It was surprising, Guruji. I think as you said, the other session when I saw with Karthik ji, you were doing this interactive session, which was really very interesting. You engage the kids well. I think constantly that's the only way we can engage the kids. Interactive, make it more and more, keep asking questions, allow them to ask questions, keep asking. And also in between, I think it works when we say, I think I don't know, they can connect very fast. I have seen that. I think I don't know. Then they say, oh, okay, this is not that person who is an all-knower. I have to keep a distance. It's similar to me. So these things I have.
And another thing is, we say, I don't know. No, I don't know. Really? And then suddenly they'll come up. Hey, I know this. You should listen to me. And so, because parents don't listen. And so this is a chance that it looks like you listen to me. And so
Correct.
take it forward.
Correct. It's
Very
actually,
true.
it's a little tricky, but very interesting. Since I have been associated with them for quite some time now, I find it more and more easy nowadays because we have this foundation of the Shastram, because our confusion has reduced to a great extent. So it becomes quite interesting. Even today, there was a point I was thinking about. I had stopped at choice when we were doing this interactive session. We were talking about animals, plants, and human beings, how we are different. I had stopped at choice. Children had come up with the answer that we have a choice. We can make some decisions. Now choice comes with confusion that we can add now. One by one, that's how, because our classes will help us interact with the kids better.
So one class you can do choice. Let's give some examples of choice. Let's give an example where you don't have choice.
Yes.
Then next class, come on, friends.
It comes with a lot of confusion. So it's easy like this to teach the kids rather than telling there is a Shreyo Marga, Priyo Marga and all. They may not understand that. So we can go with the examples. So it's interesting.
Very good, very good. All the best to you, Meera.
Thank you, Guruji. Thank you.
Like one more challenge, Guruji, like regarding the standardization, right? Like if you have many teachers for a particular subject, they may have their own way, right? The content, will it be standardized across all the sessions?
Yeah.
Let's say
So-
we have 5 different sessions and different teachers are handling it. If it is ad hoc basis, then the content what they are covering may not be standardized, right? Like
For the,
at least to
for the
some
children,
extent,
you're talking about children's classes?
in
Session for
general,
children?
like
So
in general, for this any teaching initiatives, that is one aspect. I think the standardization of content, like what will be covered. It should not be too much disparate, or like I think that is one challenge, right? Like especially in case of volunteering.
Say what Meera is doing is, you have different people coming for different things, like stitching, somebody is going to come. Yoga, somebody is going to come. Okay. Bhajan, somebody else is going to come. Okay. Some games, art and craft, somebody else is going to come. So it is like having, like going to school and they have different teachers teaching different stuff. What dharma, only one person will teach. I mean, in the sense, some talking and some important concepts and all for older children. The older children is where you get into some more detail and better boys, nuanced understanding. So they are only one person. That person only should connect to the children and then do it. That way they can. Otherwise, changing teachers, like this, that will be that won't be good for children. They have to connect for a particular topic. They have to connect with the same person. Ideally, that is. I don't know how you're doing that, Meera. But,
Even the art and craft, everything is connected to Vedic heritage only, because most of it is, some of them are life skills like stitching, normal stitches. Children need to know because they can go out and they may struggle with it. We don't learn it at home nowadays. So those things are all general life skills, but then many things with in connection to bhajans and all, probably increase your focus through constant repetition, and make sure that they can sit in one place for a long time, because they are losing that capability because of social media exposure and stuff like that. So these are some things which we have in mind through our heritage, how we can get that focus back. So this is one angle to it. Maybe we should work on that, and maybe japa over a period of time. Even I have that, take up one Ramanama or some Namah Shivaya or something, and help them to do 5 or 6 minutes of japa every day.
Yeah.
These things, I think, will help them get back their focus.
Yeah. So Raghavan, you can join the course, and then we will unfold how to do things, and there let's address some of these questions
Yeah.
that will come up. Yeah, Vaidya, you had a question.
Yes, Jaykumarji. So, as you know, Puja Swamiji has started that Purna Vidya program, right? So, will your thing be based on Purna Vidya?
Yeah, so correct. So Meera and Narayanan have the books with them, Purna Vidya books. That's a very good resource. In these days, many organizations, etc., have their own resources. But Purna Vidya was done by Swami Pramanandaji and Swami Adhirat Chaitanya, who were one of the long-time students of Swami, and very well written. And they must have taken a lot of pains to do it. And now comes with a teaching manual. This book comes with its own teaching manual. And how do you teach Dharma? So it's not simply Dharma is all written, everything, but how do you teach? What kind of examples you can use? Go to the board and draw like this. Like that they've written. And ask them these kinds of questions. Like that they've written. I found it to be very interesting. And of course, we can come up with our own stories, etc. But yes, Vaidya, we are going to use that as a reference.
Yes, Guruji, Purna Vidya is a great base to use for schools. The children really connect well.
Yeah, yeah. So Hemaji, you've used it or you've used it before or something? Can't hear you. Can't hear you.
Beg your pardon, I didn't get you, Guruji.
So have you used it in Coimbatore?
Yes, I've used it for Vivek Kalya Chandrakanti. I've got quite a few schools where I used to go. So it has been very useful because you have a base, you have a guidance, and the children are able to connect more easily. And like Meeraji said, they don't get a chance at home to really open their mouth or talk so much with both parents running the rat race of working. And then it's homework, and then it's so much of pressure from school, very little time to really interact. So then this class becomes a forum for them to interact when you give them a chance to literally come up with ideas. And the moment you say, I really don't know, but today we're all going to learn, Meeraji's tactic works great in class.
Yeah.
So we came up with a slogan last time, just like that. We were playing musical chair, and some of them were actually breaking the rules. So we started saying, like, it's okay to lose, follow the rules.
Oh. To lose, follow the rules.
Rules. They liked it very much. It's okay to lose, but follow the rules.
My student said, if you come late, you snooze, you lose.
Oh, you snooze, you lose. Okay. Yeah, some slogans must be there. Constantly you make them think a little bit. I draw inspiration from Narendra Modi. He's very good with slogans and naming programs and all that. And his talks are all filled with metaphors and all that. He's very good at capturing imagination. So, correct. Any tricks we can. So yeah, in a way, Raghavan, you're right. It is not as easy as we think it is. It is not simply learning the subject matter and being good at the subject. No, that presentation of the subject matter and relaxing on the subject matter also. Don't be in a pressure to tell everything you know about a particular subject. Like playing games, look at all that they're doing. Stitching, what is the connection between stitching and Sindhu Dharma? Try to make a connection somehow. And sometimes what? Pottery, for example. I remember one school in Bangalore, they teach pottery to children. And the teacher told me that, you can see the emotional problems the children have in the things they make. And because you have to do it, clay. So the more angry I am, karo, just it comes out, it's all that anger comes out on the clay. And so it's actually helpful for the child also.
It makes them creative. They brush their creative side. Then It helps focus better. Second, third, I felt like, even I was talking to Sunita ji, she was saying the kids who come from a very economically low background don't have a problem in stitching because they would have done this at some point of their time, stitched their clothes and worn it. So she says that these kids who have not been exposed to that, they should be told that there is one class who does this on a regular basis, so that they they don't go through clothes and one buy and then go for the next buy immediately. These things can be put into their head when they are stitching.
Why does he do better than us? Like that, if we ask, then this topic can come up.
Yeah.
Do you know what kind of a life this boy leads?
Yes. So something like that. That's the reason I wanted to make them learn this basic stitches, because they need to know that there is one class who is doing it on a regular basis. And the people who can afford clothes, we just throw it and then get another one immediately. So, and we cry, we have so much of choice, go to the mall, pick it up. The parents are also doing it, but then we have control a little bit on during the class to put it into the heads of the kids. So maybe somewhere we have to start, I thought.
Very good, and keep it up, and all the best to you.
Just to share a small incident. One girl in my class said, I told my mother not to get me a new dress till I put away at least 3 of my good dresses which I've worn but are not torn or spoiled or anything, to be given for charity. Then I'll accept a new one.
Oh, nice. Yeah, maybe a visit to some of the local, I don't know, maybe make sandwiches and give to the homeless or something. Can be also one day, you can plan for something like that if they are not used to those kinds of things. So those things can be very, very rewarding, very uplifting.
For what Raghavanji said, we should have trained the trainer, and once we have a complete syllabus in place, and train everybody if we have a particular format which has to be followed all over.
Hema, did I copy you on that email for this training the trainer?
No.
Okay. Meera, can you forward that to Hema ji also? Yeah, I must have forgotten.
I'll do that.
Maybe just copy everybody and then including Hema if you say it, then she.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank
you. Yeah. All right. Thank you. Ayam dharmaha uttarottara bhivriddhirastu. Thank you.